Okay, call the meeting to order at 6:32. First item on the agenda is to approve the minutes from the regular meeting held on March 27th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of March 27, 2018.
Seconded.
The only thing we need to do is we need to revise the term to expire of Jonathan Kastner is set at December 31st, 2019, not 2018.
Okay.
So if we can revise that motion to approve them as corrected, then.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the corrections for Jonathan Katzner's termination, or term to end December of 19.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay, we've got, the next item on the agenda is to discuss a payment to the Watts Law Office. Back in 2010, this Watts Law Office attorney, John Watts, was retained or engaged to collect delinquent property taxes. He was successful in most of his attempts. But in this particular one, on 146 West Bridge Street, it ended up going through a foreclosure complaint. The court, in the court's wisdom, the course of the whole thing, the court decided on a convoluted solution where we were going to get a property and he was going to pay another thing. We ended up with a property of 146 West Bridge Street in lieu of taxes. And then we were supposed to, whatever we were going to sell the property for, Deep River would have that money.
Okay.
We were never able to sell the property. We attempted, I think, twice. We'll put it on the market again, but I don't think we're going to have any much more luck now than not. It's right next to Route 9, so it's a difficult lot. In any case, Mr. Watts, Attorney Watts's bill came to $15,274. It has not. He was never paid.
And has interest been growing since 2010?
Well, there's another amount of $1,130 of tax collection fee. So it's upwards. It's over $16,000 is what he's owed. I just learned about this sometime in February. I learned about it because he wrote a letter to Jane Marsh. There has been no correspondence at all through them. He wrote a letter to Jane Marsh. Jane forwarded it to me. We've been going back and forth discussing it. And he's agreed to settle for $9,500. And we'll talk this over a little bit more with the Board of Finance, but it's not budgeted for this year. It's not in this year's budget. This year's budget is really tight, depending upon where the state monies come in. So I'm suggesting, and suggested to him that payment would be made in July, after the new budget starts, and we can actually budget for it. So, and I have to check it out too. I think for that much, we're going to have to go to I don't know if we have to. I think we have to go to a town meeting. Mm-hmm. But I'll check. We'll know all that. I just wanted to let you all know. We don't have to make a decision tonight, but the negotiations brought us to here. I wanted to let everybody know that that's where we are. I'll get a little bit more details from Jane Marsh as far as the process of if we need to go to a town meeting or anything like that. I don't think we do, but we might. We certainly have to go to Board of Finance.
If we wait until July, will the number increase, or that's...
No, that's the settled. That's the
settlement.
settled payment. Yeah, $9,500.
Okay.
That was my question.
And that was part of the correspondence back and forth and he has agreed that in July, a payment of $9,500 will be made.
Good.
It's more than I would like, but I had a lot of conversation with Jane, and she seemed to think that was an appropriate number. It actually was, I think we settled at 9,500 because it's a number that doesn't have to go to town meeting. We can just put it in the budget and make it part of the process.
So this whole fee is all stemmed around the 146 West Bridge Street?
It's completely that. There were
Nothing-
other properties. He worked on 5 or 6 other
But that-
properties
that
that year,
number's
but
not
this
part of
number
this.
is only
For
for
that.
that. He was taken care of for all of the other work that he did. This is strictly for that, and it was because of the unique way that this took place and where it landed in court as opposed to whatever the other process is, a lien or a judgment or a tax sale. It didn't go to a tax sale, it went to a foreclosure, which I think was the problem in this particular instance. I think Lisa explained to me that she and Dick were arguing with him not to go to foreclosure, but that's the way he went.
So we haven't, I assume we haven't collected nothing, taxes on that property?
No, we
So it's just sitting there?
It's sitting there, yeah.
Is there a house on the property?
No,
But it's a buildable lot, presumably.
presumably. I haven't gone out and looked at it on the tax map. It's certainly zoning wise, it's buildable. But I don't know that I know it's not desirable. So no one has bought it, even the abutters haven't bought it. And I'm confident that Dick tried to sell it a couple of times. I remember one of them when I was sitting on the Board of Selectmen, and it did not sell. And I don't know why, but the fellow's bill was just ignored for
You need to
7, 8 years.
advertise in the cities.
Yeah,
People used to be next to the highway.
property in Deep River. So there's no action, that's just letting you know. If we have to take action, I think the action will be, actually, if we want, I will move this to the Board of Finance at our next Board of Finance meeting, or, we'll talk
Yeah.
about it at today's budget workshop, but that'll be that. So you have any questions, let me know.
No.
I'll get you the letter if you want a copy
No,
of the
I'm-
letter.
Don't need it?
Okay. Audience of citizens, any questions, any concerns? Go ahead.
How long has that been outstanding, and any idea why it didn't get paid?
It's been outstanding since 2010, May of 2010. I have no idea why it did not get paid. At least, it never got forwarded, the bill never got forwarded to upstairs. I don't know. It's not right to have somebody perform work and just ignore them, so.
Yeah, for 8 years.
That even
So I'm not
creates
sure.
Lisa, doesn't it? She hadn't been-
She's part of all the correspondence.
Oh,
She, actually, in 2010, his firm was engaged by Lisa,
oh, okay.
so.
Oh.
Any other questions? If not, I'm gonna have Jonathan give us a little update. We sent, Jonathan went to the Department of Economic Development forum or something like that. Why don't you give us a fill us in?
Yeah, every year evidently the state has a conference on economic development up at the, well, this happened to be at Dunkin' Donuts Field. I hope they got it for nothing. It was a nice place. Anyway, it was very well attended. The room was full. A lot of DECD employees and a lot of consultants. My guess is that half the people there, maybe 150 people or so, maybe more, were not officials, town officials. They were enablers. In any case, the governor was there. The state seems to have increased interest in economic development, and which is a good thing. You know, what they can do about that, I don't know. I lobbied as many people as I could about the business incubators, and it turns out that I had thought that we were the only people. Well, we were originally, but I guess some other people, a couple of other towns have gone that route. But it was very encouraging, and it's got me going to avoid what I'm supposed to be doing now. I'm picking up all kinds of things that, not just economic development. I think the progress this town has made over the last 25 years, if you look at it as a piece and not as a sidewalk here and a ball field there, I think it's, haven't figured out how to say this yet, but from an aerial view, to locate the places that could use something, whether it's something passable or a park or I don't know, or a new door for the back of the town hall. You know, we're if you look in the right places, the town is pretty close to perfection. But if we force ourselves to look at places that have been slower coming along, there's some room for improvement. And anyway, I know that Angus is going to revitalize the economic development, whatever it is. And I think there's a lot to be enthusiastic about, and I'm hoping that we can really keep our momentum, I guess is what, not just to sit on what we're fortunate to have.
That actually is the goal, and that's as we spoke about a couple of weeks ago. That's what we're trying to get the Economic Development Commission back up and committed to meeting monthly and really moving forward and getting information out to people that may be looking for properties to develop or for businesses to open up, but also to advertise Deep River so folks from outside of the area are aware that we have space available and that we are a good place to do business.
Yeah, we had signs posted, you know, space for lease. People should really be able to go to our website.
Yes.
And look and see what's available.
Yeah, and that's one of the goals, but also to have a place for folks to contact, you know, other than just the first selectman's office. They can come in and contact you all, and you'll have a whole pamphlet of information. Okay, from soup to nuts, this is how you develop a property and get a business started, and those kind of things. And I think that it's appropriate to have the Economic Development Commission develop that kind of information, and to have that information on hand. So someone calls and says, you know, call me and say, hey, I need 3,000 square feet for a new wood shop. Or actually, who was the last fellow? He came in, he wanted to do a distillery.
Oh, the bread guy.
Yeah, and he's looking for the property, and we knew of a couple, and we connected him, and it looks like he's gonna come into town.
Nice.
But it'd be nice to have that information, so we
Yeah.
could just have it handy instead of guessing and chasing it around. And I think that's a good spot for the Economic Development Commission to get started again and get going. And Jonathan, and I think another part of that, and one of the reasons we sent John, and I think Ted was going to go but couldn't go at the last minute, is to connect with the State Economic Development Commission and start paying attention to what information they're making available to folks, and just connect as much as we can. So that was that effort. Thanks for the report, and thanks for going.
Thank you.
We have a good introduction up there just because Smitty hung around there so
Yep.
much.
Yeah.
So we have some bona fides. You know, I think that's a lot of Dick's success was that anytime anybody gave him money, he did what he was supposed to do plus a little extra. And after a while, if you gotta pick this one or this one, and this one, you have a proven track record. So we need to keep that going before they forget who we are.
Yep. Good. Thank you. Anything else?
One quick thing. The progress in replacing the Eagle is intentionally slow right now because we're not sure what other parts the top of the flagpole may need, just because of the way that Eagle was dislodged. So after Memorial Day, and it won't affect anything we have to do with the flag during the ceremonies, our guys will take a closer look. We're going to have to get up there on top and then make a judgment call on what else, if anything, besides the Eagle is needed, and then we go from there.
Mhm.
So Jim Beardsley is honchoing that effort for the American Legion right now, and we'll keep you posted, both of you posted on when we get to the point where we know what we need to buy and where, and then we go from there.
Can you use the fire truck to see what's on top of the flagpole?
We'll wind up doing that. Yeah, I know
Okay.
Beardsley wants to go up himself, but he's not healthy enough, so.
Yeah.
But
Come on,
at
man.
least the
Let 'em go.
mechanism that hoists the flag and lowers it still works.
Okay.
So we're good.
Okay. Good, thanks. And I think we just contracted with the fellow who's going to put the walkway across
Yes.
to connect the
Yeah,
two
we're
islands.
talking about that.
He ensured us that he would be done before Memorial Day, so,
That's what Richard told me.
yeah, good.
Good.
All right, if there's nothing else, we'll take a motion to adjourn.
So motion.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.